Michelle. Quick note, Liam's 36 points are the most for a freshman in a regular season Big East game in program history.
Ooh. Congrats.
36 would have been there.
Congrats, Thor. Hey, listen, game was everything we would obviously thought it would be. Couldn't have more just respect for for coach and the Creighton team and players and staff. We knew with our history here and with a lot of teams' histories here that it would be a very monumental task to do it. So obviously, this guy right here, one of the best performances of the college basketball season by probably any player, in that level of a game. And, we've been a really good road team this year. We're 6-2 on the road, and we've won in some really, tough places. But you could see the impact that this guy makes on our team when he's available and healthy and in rhythm. So thrilled to get the win.
Liam, when did you kind of get on a roll? When did you feel like it was just kind of your night?
I was pretty confident once I got my first shot off. It was a three. I forget who passed it to me, but they were jumping and swiping, spaced out. Got an open look.
I guess, was there something in the second half where you felt like you needed to be in attack mode? It seemed like you were really aggressive, especially once you guys kind of got within striking distance.
Well, I mean, that's just kind of how Creighton guards you. They play in a deep drop, and they kind of force you to get in the paint. And so I was just determined to keep getting in the paint. Some other guys started doing it later in the game. But I think forcing myself to get in the paint helped me stay aggressive.
Liam, you hit those 2 3-pointers to give you guys the first lead of the game in the second half, and then the steal and the dunk. Can you just talk about that kind of sequence for you personally and how big that was for the team, obviously?
The guys kept finding me, and then they messed up a handoff. Ashworth doesn't do that a lot. He's a really good player. 7 assists, I guess 5 turnovers, but the guys kept finding me, and I was confident.
How tough was it to sit out for those 9 games? I mean, I know you had to, but it must have been really difficult not to be able to contribute. And I know after the last game you said you were happy back, but you weren't happy after the game. Are you happy now?
I am happy, but the job's not finished. We got a lot of games left in the season. Each game counts as one. And Coach told us at the beginning of the Big East season that we got to go 1-0 every single game because each Big East game counts as one.
Liam, it kind of felt fitting that you got that last rebound and you got to put the game away at the line there. I guess what are your thoughts when you're walking across the court, going to the free throw line, and you have a chance to put the game away?
I thought the gym was really quiet. You couldn't hear peep. They were loud when it was going well, but it died down. The crowd died down pretty fast.
Is that the type of environment that you like to play in, that you feed off of?
That's really the first time I've gotten to play in a real hostile environment. I didn't get to play Marquette, didn't get to play Xavier, didn't get to play Georgetown.
You played at Texas.
Played at Texas, but that was a weak crowd, surprisingly.
Oh, Jesus, I just set him up.
But no, I had a blast, and energy feeds energy, and I was feeling it.
Liam, after you hit those back-to-back threes, it looked like you turned and were kind of waving them on, and then turned to the student section where telling them to kind of bring it a little bit too. What was that moment like for you after you guys had just taken the lead and you kind of have that moment with the crowd?
A lot of student sections have started chanting a 3-word chant before the game, during the game, during timeouts. And, a shot at coach is a shot at the team, so it just gets me fired up.
And with injuries and whatnot at point guard, you kind of playing a little bit of a point forward, I guess, for the game, and other guys kind of filling in that role too. But does that kind of suit you a little bit in that kind of role?
I felt comfortable with the ball in my hands. I don't think I did a great job of distributing. I only had one assist and 2 turnovers. We didn't have a lot of assists as a team tonight, which is unusual. But I'm just going to figure it out. It's a new position that I've never really played at a high level.
What was it like in the locker room? What kind of reception did you get? What you guys got in there?
The guys threw a lot of towels at me. They do that to Alex a lot because Alex has had a lot of good games, and now's the first time they've thrown towels at me.
What that feel like to get hit by towels?
There's a lot of them. Kept hitting me in the face. Terrace was throwing a lot of towels. He got his hands on a lot of towels.
Anything else for Liam? We'll go back to the locker room.
Let's go.
Thanks, Liam.
Let's go, Thor.
Coach?
Yeah, to win here without more or less a point guard, and even without kind of two big men who were in foul trouble most of the night,
Yeah, I mean, it's how the season's gone for us. You know, we blew the last game, turned the ball over 22 times, and I just thought going into this 3-game stretch, like at Marquette, St. John's at home, Creighton on the road, this was a really, tough 3-game stretch. We easily could have gone 3-0 on it. But you could just see the difference that Liam makes with the team. When Liam, obviously now we've got point guard problems because of Hassan's, poor health and just not having an answer right now, beyond him. So, we're just trying to reinvent ourselves with a bigger positionless lineup. And but when Liam was healthy and playing for us, we were playing to like a top 10, top 12 team in the country in terms of the quality, notwithstanding the meltdown in Maui. But, he's a guy's going to be a top 10 pick. He's one of the best players in the country. And no freshman's had a more impressive performance in a road environment like this versus a team like that with their type of defensive scheme, which is a total nightmare to play against. So, amazing.
They were shooting 60% when they were up 14. It seemed like they were ready to blow the roof off the place. What did you guys do defensively to change the whole entire complexion of the game?
I don't think none of us are like going in the huddles and like you guys think and making all these crazy adjustments. I mean, you make some adjustments, but it's mostly that down 14 media timeout. Like, what are we doing here? Like this thing is either going from 14 to 20 going into halftime, or it's going from 14 to 6 or 8. And, not our season hangs in the balance, but, the season's been frustrating. The season's been tumultuous. The season's been a lot of things. And that was a championship response to, to end the half in the way we started the half.
Yeah, Liam had 23 in the second half. I guess, was there a point, obviously, the rest of the guys kind of struggled. He made 5 out of the 6 threes, but
yeah, I mean, I thought, listen, what Alex is going through right now, it's obviously it's a major mental thing because he had some really good looks, but he also hit some key floaters, where he was able to get in the paint and make those tough, deep logo, short touch shots, solo, obviously, they make it tough on you. I mean, we had a low assist game because that's what they do to you. They make it hard to get threes. I mean, listen, I would love to play Creighton again in the Big East tournament in the championship game or something, but I cannot wait until I don't have to play against Kalkbrenner again. I mean, I just have no idea what he's still doing in college, and with how great a player he is. He's a first-team All-American. He's who I would pick to be, Big East Player of the Year without question. And then Ashworth's a first-team All-Big East player too. I mean, their defensive scheme just causes so many problems, and it's so unique, because these guys are really smart coaches the way they deploy it. But Kalkbrenner, man, it's like he ruins everything for you on offense.
But was there a point where you had a conversation with Liam, like, all right, take over, or was that something that just naturally came out?
No, I mean, he took 12 shots at halftime, or I think he was 5 for 12 at halftime, and I think the nearest closest guy maybe took like 3 or 4. So you don't have to tell that kid to be aggressive or assertive. We've missed obviously our level of play. He helps our rebounding. He helps our defense because he's 6'7". Obviously, he takes pressure off Solo and Alex offensively. But the other thing with that kid is he's got swagger. He's got the swagger that guys like Cam Spencer, and Donovan Clingan had, that kind of FU type of thing that, he's our biggest personality, and we've missed that. That's been an ingredient that has really hurt us in some of these late game situations.
I know Alex probably wanted to have a better game, but they tied the game late, and he comes right down like no blink. It's that teardrop knocks it down to put you guys back in front. Is that just the championship?
Yeah, man, just a back-to-back champ and championship DNA, and a couple of those offensive rebound put back in the second half. There was a huge play, and and then he obviously playing center. We had so many foul problems, and that obviously threw us into some crazy lineups. But right now he puts a lot of pressure on himself. The guy's a perfectionist. You could look at the shooting numbers and be like, oh man, he's in some slump. But he made so many winning plays in that game for us that that the casual person doesn't really get.
The length that you put on Ashworth to shut him off, how important was that?
That helped a lot, and we caught a break. I mean, he missed some. He rimmed a couple out. It's he's a great player. That guy, man. That guy is. He's so fun to watch when you're not playing them soon, or when you're not playing against him. I mean, like, just how much he does for them. Obviously, you see the usage rate and how much offense he generates, but that guy is like. It reminds me of the kid that played at Marquette a couple of years ago. Prior to us getting back in the league. I forgot his. I don't know what's the guy's name. Marcus Howard.
Oh, okay.
Something. So he's got that type of quality, and I just love the kid as a player. Much respect.
Coach?
Liam talked about crowds have obviously given you guys hell all year. This place especially has since you rejoined the league. What was that moment like when you got to turn to him and wave?
Well, I just wish there was more people still here. That was the only thing, because when I've gotten my butt kicked in here, minus the COVID year, which we would all like to forget, where I think this was the only place we came to that actually had fans that year. But I've obviously had to walk off unceremoniously, just crushed by the crowd and, cursed at but I don't really, as long as they're not leaning over the rail and getting in my face. I mean, I think it's what makes college sports so much better, or college basketball so much better than any other type of basketball is, you got your, although the home fans here didn't get the win that they wanted, but they got a show. I mean, they got an intense game with, with so much passion and a life or death struggle. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, that was very gratifying. I waved at some people, but I just wish that there was more of them still left. There's been a lot more left when I've lost, and
Coach?
did a good job of stopping me.